in the region of 6.5 million. So we lost a population of about 1.6 million, 1 million estimated to have died, the remainder to have emigrated. So it is, of course, a truly defining period in our history, and it's one that many of us have learned in our days in school and so on. But when you think about the scale of the hardship, when you think about the scale of the human suffering that took place during those years, that we truly appreciate the $170 that was passed on to us here in terms of food aid from people so far away. And I suppose we often comment in life that through difficult times and through the most difficult times, there are always signs of goodness, there are always signs of humanity coming through, and I think this is obviously a great example of that. But obviously during those years, as I said earlier, has had a lasting impact on us as Irish people. And one of them, of course, is emigration. And I suppose we know the huge Irish diaspora that we have across the world, in all corners of the world. And as Mayor, I have been fortunate enough to travel during my 12-month term, and we have met many people of Irish descent, of Irish heritage in various groups across the world. And they are all so proud of their Irish connections. But it gives us, as an Irish people, a huge advantage. And I suppose it is the one positive that we can draw from our story of immigration over many hundreds of years, that we have such great connections abroad in all parts of the world, and it gives us a great foothold, I suppose, in economics, in business terms, in cultural terms, in tourism terms, and so on. And that is something that we in Cork County Council are trying to work hard, I suppose, to continue to build those links and those relationships, because while the people abroad, it's important for them to hold on to their Irish heritage, it's also important for us as Irish people to value the fact that they do hold their Irish heritage so importantly. And we, as we say, as Mayor of the county, as Lord Mayor of the city, as other mayors across the country, that we make those trips abroad to show them the appreciation we have for their efforts to keep alive the Irish culture abroad. Because while we live in a small island here on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, our influence spreads far and wide, and that is something that we need to continue to grow and build upon and continue to nurture that relationship. I suppose we're talking today of generosity, and I think it's fair to say that the Irish people in today's terms have continued to show great generosity in terms of difficult situations going on across the world, and there are many such examples today. And only this morning I read in the news the efforts of the Irish Naval Service in the Mediterranean Sea rescuing another 700 refugees just off the shore at the coast of Tripoli. And I think that is an example. I think that is an example that those acts of generosity, of human kindness, and I suppose of basic humanity is alive and well in Ireland. And thankfully the government, and they do get some criticism for it, let's be honest, but the government has set aside a significant amount of funding for foreign aid, so that we as an Irish people, notwithstanding the fact that we have difficulties here in Ireland, and of course we do, and we all know what they are, but there are people in other parts of the world who are suffering absolute wretched hardship, and we as a people have stood up to the plate to help those in the form of foreign aid, and I for one think that is welcome. So ladies and gentlemen, it is a very warm day. There are a number of other speakers. Can I just again say on my own behalf, it is indeed a great honour for me as Mayor to be here on this tremendous occasion. I think by the level of media attention it's getting, we can see how extraordinary a story it is. And when the invitation came in to me first, I have to say I had to read it a couple of times just to understand exactly what was going on here, and just to understand how, I suppose, Native American people in the United States felt the need to help us during the Irish famine. And it's something that I think will forever be remembered here, and I'm glad to say we have a wonderful sculpture here in Middleton to mark that. So again, on my own behalf, look, I want to pass on a huge thank you to the Choctaw people through their chief, Gary Batten, on behalf of the people of Cork, and if I can't say on behalf of the people of Ireland, because I'm sure they would want me to pass that thank you on as well. Ladies and gentlemen, in finishing up, can I just thank the former Town Council for their initiative and for their vision. Can I just thank the local council office through John McCarthy as Municipal District Officer for all the work they put in, and all his staff and the local public representatives in bringing about today as well. We appreciate all the efforts you've made. Can I also just acknowledge the presence of our Deputy Chief Executive, Declan Daly, who's here with us as well today from Cork County Council, just to mark the occasion as well. So without further ado from me, my job is very simple here today. It is, of course, to pass on that thank you, but it is also to publicly declare the monument behind me to be a lasting and fitting tribute of our thank you to you as a people, and of course a fitting tribute to your act of humanity and generosity as well. So thank you very much.